And what did Tarot have to say if I did a random check like they do? You know, picked one out randomly on the clips I just put up. You want to go to bed, Sarah? The devil never quits, evil. And when it does, you know what that means? Here on earth and with the Bible, that means we'd get world connection peace. We'd have our minimums and standards sorted out. You never get peace, but peace is like things get sorted out pretty quickly, kind of thing. But anyway. Till then, as the Bible would say, the devil is still here and winning. In all the countries that are failing and being bullies to other countries, the devil's there winning. Yeah, some people would say, if you're doing righteous things and been doing it for a while and saying you're on the righteous path, then they would say, Christians would say, well, God should be on your side. He's on my side, right? That's what they say, right? And that's what a lot of even bad guys say, that kind of thing. And they're using the same example of that kind of thing. But really, there's no real proof of that. That's why they struggle in that area. You need to find out how God would work. And when people are good people, they got the story about the devil will be attacking the best out there with that story. You know about it, right? And if the devil's attacking the best out there, why aren't you helping the best out there so the devil can't attack it so much? And that's your problem. That's a sin of yours. The sin is that you're not helping people. You're not doing your contract, as a lot of people would say, with Rainbow Serpent here in Australia. The Aboriginals and their own Rainbow Serpent story that I posted up to you. There's a couple, but you've got to put all stories together to make sense of the story. And I put up the main one that made sense of why things would be happening. You look at the logic, you look at the history, right? And you look at the stories to make logic of those stories, right? And they're meant to be, right now, the Aboriginals, right, should be sticking up for their country. It's part of their Rainbow Serpent stories. In fact, they're meant to be sticking up for all animals as they've done a sin in their story, right? And they need to fix their sin. Just like the white man in their story, right, with Christians mainly, and their sins. Right, they haven't fixed them yet. They're still in their sins. So here the Aboriginals still in their sins of anger and jealousy, as it said in the Rainbow Serpent story. They liked it, but then they got angry and jealous, and they don't really want to listen once they get there. They've got this anger and they can't learn when they get that, right? And so that's a sin of theirs that they need to heal. The Rainbow Serpent turned up, showed them what their sin was, and then we're here to today. Right? And Rainbow Serpent will still turn up in certain ways in certain people to try every now and then, just like Christian story and all religion stories, after a little time. That's what you do with testing to find out if they've improved or what they're doing to improve that. Are they giving up? Right? If they give up, the Aboriginals give up fighting for this land and the things on it, well, they fail their Rainbow Serpent story. They fail it. Right? They're killers, they're barbaric, and they're lazy in the end, as they will fail as they didn't do anything. You see? And Christians have the same similar thing. They're failing their story too. They smile in your face, say all these things, but their biggest country, America, right, are now going drill, drill, drill. Let's keep doing the same thing, promote something, we're going to do it because they're doing it. You know what I mean? And that's not really righteous, right? That's the two wrongs don't make a right. And they've got a chance to change. They can print up money. They can go a different way. They don't have to get the real economy money. They can do, if you know business, which they say they do, right? You can turn money into money, right? That's how business rolls. Donald Trump can help that in that area, right? That's one thing he can definitely do, as he's a good businessman, right? So he knows how to get money to make money. So he's doing it now, but there's other ways of doing it. He's not doing it righteously, and I'm happy to debate that, which is what I've been doing at the moment. But these people are still in their sins. Either they don't know, which can still be in your sin. If you don't know, you haven't learnt, you're still in your test, right? As other sinners can be blocking you. People who are in bigger sins will create little sins for others as they block people and cause them to cause sins or not know a sin that it's happening, that they could do something about it, right? Which is why I talk about how they have a go at a doctor out in the street. See, one of their sins is that in Christians, that I believe, as if they're contradicting themselves, is that if you don't care for the animals, because you got in the Noah where he goes, they're here for us, those people like to say that one. Well, they're not, right? And they are, but you're here for them and they're here for you, right? That's the balance, right? And you've got to do that fairly. And we've been told in all these different scripts, and script writers and speakers speak them. I say script writers and that because they don't practice all the things they speak about, right? They don't really get into it. It's like a person that speaks about animals and does all these docos. He goes, where's the script, where's the script? After all the docos, he would have talked about a lot. Everyone would think he knows a lot, but really he hasn't experienced it, right? And so he does know a lot, but he doesn't know the experience, so he misses out on knowing that part, right? Which is the experience of things. If you haven't been punched, when you go to finally get punched, which is a similar way of putting it, right? You're going to go, oh, you can be a really good puncher too. You can even build muscles, but your skin and everything else is all connected, right? And you can have big muscles on it. Say you never got hit, and then all of a sudden you got in the ring and you can fucking hit, right? People know this shit, right? And you got in the ring, and the next minute you hit this dude. He's like, yeah, he's down. He's like, oh fucking, and you hit him again, like, yeah. And the next minute the dude just comes up and goes, boom, with a quarter of that dude's strength, uppercut or something like that, and the dude can't out because he's never been hit. He's always done the hitting, right? And that comes in many, 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 many forms. So good luck out there. As the devil is winning, still, if the world is dying, as everyone was talking about, that means the devil is winning, and us, we're failing our test when it comes to even keeping a proper balance. As the devil sometimes needs to come in, but that's on the proper balance. When you have too much saying, too much of anything can be a bad thing. And that's why God is God and the devil. That's how I put it. I believe God is the devil, and if he's not, he certainly has people that work for him, right? Could be his children, one of his children, as we've tried to interpretate through all different religions, right? So you either got God is the devil, right? And he does have helpers like Santa Claus, and chucking angels, all sorts of things, right? Someone's got a story and a whole bunch of, coincidences that can put it together to be enough to where we can go, oh, that's a story. It's not 100% believable. That's what religion is, right? Most of the time, we haven't had something holy for a while to update that area, right? And when we do, and we have through history, is that a lot of these, the devil comes in first, as the stories talk about. And if you don't see that, or you allow that, then you get the devil's outcome, right? That's your test, collectively, right? Everyone. Then we've got our little silent ones, right? That we all go through. The actions that we cause in the end. If you're too pussy, too nice, you can actually die younger, right? Go through hard, because that's a test that you're doing too much, right? I've learned that myself, because that's one of my tests I've had to learn the last few years, is that I do too much for others, don't I, Annie?
Yeah.
And that's one of my things. I'm still trying to actually get out of it. It's quite annoying. I call it a curse of the good, right? Because they want to do too much, and the curse of the bad, and born bad and like to be bad and have that apple. They just like to be bad to try to get the outcome. So when they're losing, they'll be bad to try to get a better outcome. So a robber will owe money because he gambled, and he's already a robber. He does a little bit of that, but he'll rob now more because of the gamble bad one, right? And now he's got to go rob a bank to pay the gambling. We see that movies, don't we, Emma? Yeah. Right, and that's the same outcome of being too good too. A rich person being nice can end up being a poor person, or a person laughed at behind the scenes, just by being nice as a gullible person, right? It's the balance. So if someone's shitting on you, and you've tried all the good balance of what you've done it for a little while, like how long's too long, right? Don't go too much, go reasonable, right? Go to where it gets too far, certain feelings, and then if there's no help and no area to solve it, we go back to what we know, which is what humans like to do a lot. Go barbaric, go angry, go warring, right? I'm bigger than you. They'll try that. That's one of the last things. And if they don't have that, the person that's smaller has to learn. That's why usually a little animal's a bigger barker and all these kind of things, and look around and more alert. Humans are a little bit similar, I've noticed, sometimes in some areas. That could be their nature because they need that as they're smaller, so their brain needs to function better. Right? It's nature, right? And the bigger ones, well, they'll need the smaller ones, which is where the balance is, because their brain can't work as good as the little one. Right? They got their ego, they got other things to worry about, all sorts of reasons. But that's why we connect. We're meant to connect. That's our whole big test. Everyone's going on about Christmas, Rory, fucking rocket chat, fucking Wahoo, moon this, fucking Wahoo, Mars that. Right? But they haven't even got the basics. It's like a kid going out and got all this money, turned 18, you heard of these stories? And they're going out and going, oh, I can do this, I'm great, fucking look at me, look at me. You can't be doing that well. If you hear these people talking, I've got money, I must be doing well, I must have done something. You should like me, because look, I got the money. Most of the time it could be like an inheritance. It's not the truth. In fact, that poor guy could be more wiser, more of a better dude than you are, but he's had bad opportunities. And you've had good ones and you've blown it. I know people have gotten 60 grand, houses inherited, cars inherited to them, given them to them, and they blew it. They went and done burnouts. They went, oh, who cares? It's cheap. I got it given to me. They do that. They just completely fail their test. Right? Don't they? But no, they do what they do. We will do what we do collectively. We've always had for about 2,000 years. When we have these tests, that means there's a chance for us. Things that know better for us or a bigger, higher being would know when we can have chances. There's chances in history, knows everything, right? It's like, here's a point, we're going to send Jesus. Here's a point, here's a chance. No, they fucked it. We're going to do this now. We're going to give them, this guy, the thought of the nuclear bomb. They need help. We're going to give him a thought. They're called false gifts. He would have got a thought in another way, right? And then a thought that he should have done a thought where he presented what he knew, if he could. That's why I hope things happen, where he can just only use the technology he wanted. But it doesn't work like that. He actually probably thought that when he gave it out, try to do it in a positive way, but it can get used as a negative. Definitely if you're asking help from governments and stuff that really aren't in the positive. Like I say, what government out there lives by righteous rules with their laws? None of them. Not even America. America's the closest, but they're not 100% there. They're about 80, I reckon. 80%, 75 righteously right because of the Bible, but it's corrupted in areas over there. It's corrupted, right? So they're not quite there yet, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing that drill, the bad thing, right? I understand that they can still do that, but the way they present it and the way they present themselves, right? It could be just their leader at the moment, but their leader is representing, he's a high leader and a high person in that country, and he's Christian, as far as I know. He goes to church. Donald Trump, doesn't he, Emma? You know that? He's held a Bible up before they had a whinge about it when he was last president, while a riot was happening. So far as I'm concerned, I haven't really researched Donald Trump 100%. I've got some docos, but most of them about his life, a bit like ego type of docos. Right, I haven't really seen deep into life docos about Donald Trump. Right, so I just have my opinions. I don't know if he's doing the Bible as business, as I know that Donald Trump's a businessman. So he will do things and will go along with it, but it doesn't mean he has heart on it and that he'll make sure it sticks to that. He will use what will help his business, right, if you're business minded. Isn't that true? So that's hard to tell for someone like me who hasn't done a deep research, but sees the normal research of what normally gets put out there and easy to see. And that research showing that he's an ego man and you need that for business, and he does well. And when he wants something, even being a prime minister, he gets there, and he's proven that. Right? But anyway, let's just truck along with Bella for a minute. She likes to talk about what I talk about. It's a shame that I've never been able to talk to this group not once in any decent conversation except the recorded live ones, and they're not very good ones. And I haven't had decent ones since, as I don't get on there and I have to listen about people getting on their live chats talking about wanting to kill you and all these crazy things coming to get you, and I dare you to do this and then punish you in the scenes behind. You know, it's just tricks it, so we get out of that. Been there, checked it out. I've never been on YouTube in my life until the last couple of years, and I need to see something, and they talk about the devil and the internet, and you've got to find out yourself. That's what I like to do. And since I've gotten on there, I haven't really talked anything positive when it comes to YouTube and how YouTube rolls. Isn't that right, Emma? Yeah. And that's why I'll be getting off. And I've never said, cool, YouTube. Right? I did at the start a little bit, like we all do. Got some clips, see something different from Facebook, right? I was on Facebook, tried that for a little while, didn't stay there too long either. as I hear more negative. So like they say on a list, and you want to get your life better, you look at your list all the time, and if you're getting more of the negative, not good for you or anybody, and hearing, and it's not good for your morale and all that kind than positive, then you're better off not being there. Isn't that what they say, Emma? Yeah. And so that's why I left Facebook, because Facebook's different for everybody, but my friends crew, or the ones I've joined up as a friends crew, were up and downs a lot, like we always are, but just in times a lot more where it was just a lot of negative pretty much on there every day, and I didn't need to say it. And so I left there at a smile and a thumbs up, and this is what I do now and where I hang out. I talked about that, and I clicked up a couple of my first jewelry pieces, and then I moved on to YouTube to see how YouTube functions and how YouTube is and how we can connect on YouTube. And you know what? YouTube is definitely business only related. You can connect quickly if you've got a big business, and money, money, money. They talk about that in a way. And they already got, TV show and all that kind of stuff. You go flying straight away. If you're just a normal person, even if you're hovering in the backyard, they can make it not really be seen and then be bullied and attacked and maybe even copyright. They copyrighted my foot, me talking about my sore foot. I don't know what could be copyrighted in that. Hey, Emma. Yeah. So if they could do that, right, they've copyrighted me going, good luck on a clip of, good luck killing cats in a clip of Drag Me to Hell. So they make these films that are crazy. And I'm going, hey, good luck. Been a little bit like them, right? And they go, oh no, you're bad for the community. Well, why are you even showing that then, eh, Emma? That's what I've had several times in certain things. I just do basic, I'm not swearing, nothing, right? Not having a go at anybody. In fact, the worst of things is going along with them and doing a little bit less than what they're doing to show a point. And guess what? I get attacked, the normal average citizen. Crazy, eh? That's what you call business takeover. There's no heart left, there's no honour in that area, is there, Emma? It's just business. Huh? That's why, my perspectives of their ads, their perverted ads, like a lot of people say things, some Christians go too far and just say people wearing colours is perverted, right? And short shorts and that, you know what I mean? But I don't go that far. I'm reasonable, I'm real, right? Also like things to have fun. Right now, I have an issue with the mouse because I let it run around, and it's pretty clean out here. But little bits do hide, and mice find their way. She hasn't got a play area. I've been talking about having a play area. Bring her out for a while. She's the third, probably about fifth time actually. She's been out. Max, roughly about there. And this time she's gotten something stuck, which is no good for us. And no wonder we don't like to give things freedom, because to give things freedom can cost a lot of money. So now she's got to go to the vet. You get it? And then if the vet's very expensive, which the devil would love to see, if things are hard, then it more likely won't head that direction. Isn't that true, Emma? Yep. Yep. So perhaps we need more crash courses on anaesthetic, I reckon. What's wrong with this society? People can go get a course for mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and get a certificate so they can do that to people and won't get too much trouble at court if they try it and they die. But if people try it and they die, you can get into trouble if you don't have these certificates sometimes. But people do that, which is a good thing because they've saved lives. But there's always someone out there who wants to punish someone the easy way out, which is the human's one of the human sins. And so you've got to be very careful being nice and doing things in certain areas. Otherwise, you get attacked and bullied. And just trying to mention people's what they do is wrong is a bully tactic to them. But if you can mention what is wrong, but then help them, which is what they mentioned about in the Bible, what Jesus tried to do, you're not bullying them. And if they don't want to take that help and still be them, they just want to be bullies. Isn't that true, Emma? If you're helping someone and go, you should stop doing this, in fact, you can do this, and you'd be the same, you'd make more money, you've got to give it a try, right? It's a little less, but after a while, if you can spread the word, and the word's good, and people will go along with it, and they do it, you will definitely make money, right? Because you're going against them, so you just got to get them to do what you do. You get it? Instead of going, do what we do, and we put up price, no, you put up price. That's what we keep saying, right? Everyone's playing the game of the bad apple, as far as I'm concerned, of knowledge. And with that, if you got that mostly in your collective, what you're going to see? You're going to see a bad planet look like a bad apple. All right, I'm just going to truck along with this just for a minute, and leave it at that and get stuck into my dinner, which is lasagna. It's a bit dirty. I gave it a clean out the other day and I haven't wiped the windows yet. Of the oven cleaner, as you can see. I do that every, try to do it every 6 months, but you say 4 months, 3 months, stuff like that. It builds up. But yeah, lasagna. Lasagna, little. Alright, let's get back to the people I have not had contact with because of maybe some of the issues I just discussed. You can even, these people, like I said, it's either they're getting blocked, but they're not getting blocked, right? Because they talk about blockage. So they're not getting blocked. Then I'm doing all these messages. They say leave a comment, and it proves how much they don't see it. Right? So it's either that one, which is not a good outcome, or I'm getting blocked, and it's not a good outcome for them or me. As am I get blocked from what them and Australia can see? Because countries can do that. I get blocked from the rest of the world, and only the town can see. You can do that these days with aerials and antennas, big ones, and we've got some around here. So if you've got some around, you're in that bracket. That could be a possibility that can happen. When you don't have them around, these big towers and they're far away, you got less possibility. Even though they're making bigger towers like HARP and stuff like that to really tap into areas. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just the way it is. As we have this thing that God really does give us freedom, even freedom to be assholes towards each other. He's just watching, and he gives chances and gives downloads. Gave one to Tesla. That was another time. Tesla got a download. He's a little bit like me. He wanted to give it to everyone, but everyone said to Tesla, no. These rich people, if you look at the story, they pretty much said that. No, don't give it to everyone. And he went, no, I'm not going to do it unless they did. And then they're like, shit, he's now competition. Shit, all right, he could help us out, but now we're going to bully him. We're going to put him down, and that's what they did. And then the rich people got what they wanted. They even use tactics that are hypocritical, like electrocuting an elephant to show what electricity can do with Tesla's way. But yet, you can do it with their way too. Get it? They're hypocritical. But they just want to show their story. And they believed it. So the more you can spread that, and that was to a town, then spread more to a big group of rich people, right? You win. If you own the internet, you win. If people don't have free speech on the internet, the devil wins. Right? You don't want to see things, don't see it. And if they're bad to a certain righteous law, the law will sort it. And if the company don't sort it, that it needs to sort it because the law will sort it, the law will sort them. That's what we do, isn't it? But we speak about it, but nothing happens. It's sad.
One thing is not like the other. Different backgrounds is that.
Lasagna with some potato. I'm going to heat it up now, actually. As that's what I was doing, right? We had this internet. Finishing up tea. Baby was running around here. She was behind him when I went to get her. She may have found a little bit. I didn't clean behind there, so I cleaned and flicking a little bit of gunk. But other than that, everything was clean. Cleaned a few days ago. Set the hard stuff a little bit on the bench here. I've got a scraper. I've got to get another scraper. I think I've better scraper. These thin ones hurt your hand and break. So I've got broken one. Use the knife, but it damages the knife. And they also hurt your ankle because you can't hold it. But anyway, hear that advice. You got to let this go. You know, that's one of the favourite devil's words to trip. I won't do it. And then later on, it'll do it again and do it again. And then it will say it's your own test. In a way, it's meant to be there, but they're not. You're meant to handle things in a certain way. The quicker the better. Either way, if you're bad guys, they'll come in quick and go right quicker the better and get out there. And it's the same with the good guys. If it lingers in either way, well, you're just going to have the problem slower. It's like going to the dentist and getting your teeth ripped out now and going for the big pain. Or had that pain for months on end and headaches with it. And then you're missing out on things because you feel down and all these things. You'd rather in the end just go sort it. If you can't do it, go sort it. That's what the governments can do. Go sort it. They say, within 10 years we can get to the moon. Well, fuck, in 10 years you should be able to feed the world. Right? And have the basic priorities sorted out. How's that for doing something you haven't done? That's something we haven't done really, for real. We've had times and moments. You know what I mean? But they don't. They don't do it because that's not their priority. Their priority, they're sweet on that area. They've got money and other things where they believe that's not a priority to them. That's only to you, but yet they allow and elect and help out people who allow these things to continue.
His realm, the 3D is the devil's realm. I'm not about to school y'all right now. I'm not.
And Bella says the 3D is the devil's realm. So if you want to know more about that,
They like,
go see the Bella.
you trust in
As
God
I
to
say,
put
I
in
don't
your
mind
heart.
sharing. I don't know everything. She wouldn't know
And it's not
everything
just
either.
because
She did, we wouldn't be in this situation.
what they seen or how you record or
Either
something
her
that they
getting
put out
blocked
online,
or
it's your
me
actions.
having a similar
Like, they can
situation.
tell.
Thinking that I know so much and I know that she knows. Huh? And I even try not to learn what she knows deliberately. Don't I, Emma? I talk about it. Okay, no, I'll let her have that. So I can talk to her about it. That's the connection. I know a bit. I know a vehicle. I know how to maintain a vehicle. Here's a better way of putting this perspective. But I'm not a mechanic. So I can go to a mechanic, connect with him, and go, I know this helped me out a little bit. But he should be able to do it better as he's a mechanic. True, Emma? Yeah. And I've learnt some shit, but I'm not a mechanic. He's saying he's a mechanic. So what are you doing? So, and I've even talked about stories how people class themselves as mechanics, and yet I've looked up things and become a mechanic in 5 minutes, and then become a better mechanic than them, as they might be thinking about money, or just lazy, right? Or just inefficient at their job, but they got a certificate, right?
Leaving their alliances on red. Everybody that they work together with is leaving somebody on red. Yeah.
They're good at doing things like that.
Their own responsibilities and obligations because
There we go. See what she's saying now? So these are people that meant to help all this. This is very enough. But they're going to leave them to their own thing because they should be able to sort out their own. See how they twist words? Huh? That's what you call the devil. Huh? He'll twist it, give help when they want to give help. Huh? I don't twist words. I just speak facts. And then if I learn something that can help me speak better facts or that facts, well, I'll do that. Right? We're all still learning. Right? But I don't want bullshit. I'm so done with bullshit. Are you, Emma? It's like Emma's not really a Catholic or anything because of all the bullshit, eh, Emma? And why don't you believe in God? Because there's no real facts about the bullshit, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is what I'm talking about. We need a new refreshment. What made people want to be thought that was Jesus and miracles back then? We need more than people just looking into the future and shit. They just get used and abused in this day and age, right? And there's shitloads everywhere, as they say. A lot of people are pretty intelligent and can do Bart Simpsons, right? And that's actually most of the world out there. Bart Simpson's going, how you going? I'm God on the radio to the neighbour, right?
Also, what I've mentioned before, I'm not religious because, well, besides not believing in God, I believe you don't need to be religious to be a good person.
You don't. That's what I've talked about when people have come door knocking, which I used to do all the time. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's what I was like right after about 5 years ago. Right? And then I got to a point where I was being righteous at work. I've been fair. I stopped all my things. Things sort of went good, but then doesn't. Like I said in the devil story, it goes shit, because first thing's got to go good for it to do that. And then it comes in, right, and fucks you up the ass and does not want you to succeed because it'll lose its mission, right? And so the best of the best, you will see that they're getting fucked over. Probably be right at the moments where things have really got to change. They'll be getting fucked over the most, right? And because of those type of things, you have people like Emma that don't believe. In fact, you don't need religion these days. We're getting to an educated point and have things around where you don't need to believe. As time changes, we get different education and different thoughts and belief, right? And these days, we're at the higher than ever that we can believe in science. Science gets us going, but science can also be our false gift, right? And our worst nightmare, which is becoming in certain areas, right? And believe in money. People can believe in the money and go along with whatever, and my life is cool, right? While their life is cool, they'll definitely believe it, right? And that's how the devil wants it too. He wants you to believe it's all sweet when it's not, because it'll come in at any time. As I was speaking to Emma, you go back a couple of years ago, right, year and a half, you ask the person who goes, will you be wiped out? They'll laugh at you. They will. You go, lawyer, you're all going to die. Your leader's going to go in and do this to Israel. They're going to hit their last cracking point and turn into the devil. This is going to happen, right? And they're going to laugh at me. They would have laughed, wouldn't they, if I actually meant that? Wouldn't you think? Yeah. But guess what? Here today, right? Gaza's wiped out and the rest of the world saying it's righteous, pretty much, as it's getting agreed upon. Not touched, no one's challenging. If they don't challenge, in the end it becomes right and righteous, I guess, because they get away with it, right? That's what makes them even worse. You get deeper within your sin if you get away with it all the time, because you won't stop until it's done onto you, and you can't stop them doing it onto you too. But if they can only just do it onto you, well, it's more likely not going to stop, because humans are still the monkeys, barbaric sin, and have been for a while. There's no story that they've gotten out of it. That's what I keep talking about. It's like, where's the story where the world actually becomes sin-free, where we got it right for, say, 50 years, the whole world, right? And they're allowed to be who they're allowed to be. We have a moment to do that with proper righteous debates and thoughts and getting along and working each other, but we don't. Isn't that sad? Right? In fact, we couldn't even get alien encounters because Russia had won it, and they'll probably kill us for it, knowing that we're about to get the next technology and he's fucked, so he'll use everything in his might, like getting attacked. Right?
One event produced other effects in people's lives.
Hey, I'm gonna have dinner. Potato. Yeah. And good luck out there doing what she's doing. Keep locking. Because you know what happens in the end collectively? And it is, because of all these little groups, they're like the Aboriginals, of why they lost in the end. They were just too divided. They said they were together, they all did similar things, but they were still too divided. Right? They still are today. We're seeing some go, oh, look, settle down, let's do this. And then some go, no! Fuck off, King! Fuck off! Right? And they're the ones that are meant to be more representing. So, more likely with that saying what I just said, then they're failing as their collective being represented. Right? But anyway, it's one thing saying things behind the scene, feeling something, but doing it to things' face and stuff like that is another thing, and you've got to make sure you back out what you put out. And some people can be serious and do that. You're allowed to be. But you've got to make sure you keep going. If you just do a bit, stop, like people do with riots and that, you're going to fail. That's history. Right? The ones that don't fail didn't stop, did they? You can't stop. In fact, you've got to upgrade. You can't repeat. I see a lot of them just, here comes another week of marching down the street. Hey, Emma. So it's like a repeat, isn't it? The devil laughs at that. The devil's, oh, well, I haven't changed that. You think that's going to make me change? Right? In fact, I'm waiting you to go stupid. I'm waiting you to have that snap moment. Right? And be good, and they go, boom, so I can come in and make you look bad. You just can't step up and show the point, like I talked about when it comes to the, if you wanted to fix a law about people could just complain on you next door and stuff like that. If noise complaining any time means here in Australia, which is what I cop, you can't go out and blow or mow your lawns if your neighbours do not like it, or have a baby, or have the top 10 excuse book, right, of what is allowed, so that people can believe within each other. The only way to fix that is to do what I said. You have to go to the people who made the law and then have one of them have the same feeling. Do they still like the law when it gets done to them? And if you do it to them, they go, cool, keep the law, and they cop them the same problem, their guns getting along, and people are asking, they feel like shit. Well, there you go. And then he's allowed, you can show him that he allows, and that's all what we're going to collectively declare. It's pretty simple, eh? You just want it. That's what I say to a lot of people. These people want it because they're not doing nothing about it, or they don't care, they're lazy. It's sad, isn't it? I'm fighting for these things, but it takes more than one, it takes more than 100, it takes more than a country with millions, it takes a few millions at least. Got to at least get the 10%, maybe, what they say, to get a loan for a house, you know what I mean? But because I have cystic fibrosis, I get judged all the time. In fact, I expect people to judge me and go, well, he's sick a lot. Even on my minimal sickness, I can still speak and lead and know what to do. Isn't that right, Emma?
Yeah.
Right, like a doctor who's been shot and repair me. Right, I can still at least speak and it's like this. Right, and that's very rare, getting to that low. Right, there's a linger spot that I have a lot. It's like having a cold that goes away but doesn't a lot, but it lingers there. You know what I mean? And that can cause a lot by stresses in my life. Every time I've been stressed and things are not going right, the world's not going right, I've been the sickest. There's even a whole experiment about that, right? And so that's why bullies come in and these things happen. So they want you sicker. Definitely people expecting you want to die or want to kill you, they would want you to be sicker. So if the government wants you to die behind the scenes, right, they would do these steps to you to become sicker, so you either become sicker physically or even both, and mentally. Right? That'll be the top outcome for the devil, getting both. That's when you snap and all that, and then you can't even snap back properly because you're too sick to really stand up. And then if there's less of you as well, the devil goes, here, let's watch him get wiped out on the beach of Hukalama. What do you reckon? They do it all the time, and that's sad.
Someone,
As they're being propaganded in the moment through their enemies. That's history.
some people that are very low vibrational don't see something coming, and that they curse themselves.
And that's what I was just talking about.
Doing something for money,
Money.
they curse themselves. So they gotta pay attention to their life.
But I'm going to have some tea.
They're not friends with somebody no more.
So have a good one out there. Good luck with what you do,
Friends in a
if you're allowed to do it.